see, that's what it was about up there. We were family up there. It was
Yeah,
just,
that's
you
awesome.
know,
That's the
yeah,
type of place you gotta depend on each other to stay alive.
exactly.
You're all just trying to survive at that.
You can't afford to be at ends with somebody up there. It's like likely to end up in death for
Yeah,
Yeah,
somebody.
if you don't get along up there, they can go murder you and haul you off in the woods and let a grizzly bear digest you. There- You
I
don't
saw a
want
bunch of
enemies.
them. Saw a
There's
bunch
some
of them
lakes out
too.
there, icebergs and shit.
Did you see a
Gigantic.
grizzly?
Oh, well, not a grizzly. It was a big old brown bear. Yeah, I got real close to it.
I've
It was
heard
dead.
grizzlies are like whole different animals than you can imagine from just seeing pictures on them. I feel like that's how moose are too.
Moose
Nah,
are huge.
dude, moose are gigantic, and they will mess your day up in a heartbeat.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, I, up there, you're more afraid of them than bear.
Holy crap.
You can scare a bear off. Moose, good luck.
They ain't scared of shit.
No. Well, if you become between it and a baby, oh yeah, you're dead.
Oh god.
It is going to kill you. You're not getting away. Oh, it's scary.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
They're
My
like
whole
the size of
childhood, I never
SUVs.
considered a moose a scary animal.
Yes.
No, because Rocky and
Very.
Bullwinkle,
Yeah,
they
right.
was a bunch of goofy
Just
little
dumb old
fellas.
moose. Yeah.
He was like a knockoff Canadian Yogi the Bear.
Yeah, right.
That's right. Well, Zach, what was your worst day?
Mine was, I was actually working at the school as a summer worker, helping them. And this was my school, like, had added a new whole building to where we were having to move lockers, furniture, pretty much everything, stocking this building, getting it ready to roll. Well, I don't know if y'all have much knowledge about the air duster crave that went rampant
Mm,
through high schools there for a little while.
I was aware of
Yeah,
it. Did not
I
partake.
remember.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
me
yeah,
neither.
y'all are
I thought it
smarter
was.
than me.
I thought it was
Yeah,
death in a can.
it was, but we didn't care. We thought we were indestructible. Well, me and another summer worker, we decided we were going to participate in the air duster phenomena. We emptied a whole can doing it, and I ended up passing out. And in one of the classrooms, there is this like cabinet, to where you could crawl inside of it, like what you'd see in a kitchen or something, like the bottom cabinets. I crawled in there. There's no telling how long I was asleep. I'd guess probably an hour to 2 hours, just napping. I woke up hearing people calling my name, looking for me. so, so I'm immediately panicking because it took me a second to grasp where I was, why I was where I was, and then there was a puddle of drool the size of a small pond inside that cabinet with me.
Oh my God.
So when I say I was asleep, I was not on that planet for a little while. So I wait for them to walk off, like they didn't find me. They even walked in the room, didn't see me in there, so they left. As soon as they left, I crawled out of the cabinet, made sure I was functional, and went to searching for him. When I finally found him, I said, "Where have y'all been? I've been looking for y'all for the past hour trying." And then they were like, "We've been looking for you. Where you been?" I said, "I've been looking for y'all," just playing it off. The other summer worker looked at me and started laughing because he knew exactly what had happened.
Dude,
So,
those summer jobs at the school were the funnest to me.
oh, it was just a bunch of idiot high schoolers. I mean, we worked hard. Don't get me wrong,
Sometimes.
but if there was a moment to do some dumb crap, we were gonna do some dumb crap.
Dude, we did
That's
everything from like hide and go seek to
Oh yeah, for sure.
we had access to the gym, um,
Yeah, shoot
the
ball.
basketball gym. Yeah, we would shoot ball, but a lot of times we didn't have a basketball. It'd be more likely we would get a football or something, or someone would bring one, and we'd try to throw it in the hoop from like half court,
Full court. Yeah.
sometimes full court.
Well,
Depends
see,
how late in the
my
day it
first
was.
year, my first year as a summer worker, we really had no time to do all that stuff. Like, we didn't have much screw around time because we were helping the janitors, and
We
they
were
would do
too.
something called stripping and waxing the floors, to where you got to move everything out of a room into the hallway, let them strip and wax, and then move it back in.
That's what we did.
When we wasn't doing that though, we were having to go move all that stuff to the new building, and we were also having to weed eat and cut grass and paint stuff. Like, that was the busiest
Holy
summer of my
smoke.
life, right?
Paint
The next
and
year we got
we
to screw around a little bit more, and that was really fun.
they sure didn't let us cut grass or none of that.
Well, see, we had a senior that they let cut grass. I'm not real sure how he got the job because he was about to go to college. They usually didn't hire that age range, but shoot, he was there and they let him cut the grass, but we'd be stuck on weed eat duty, and that was not fun.
Hell no, I wouldn't
They would
be.
have us in a parking lot, and our parking lots were just like loose rocks. And if there was a random weed sticking up, they'd tell us to go out there with a weed eater and get it instead of spraying it with poison for some reason. Talk about rocks flying everywhere.
Mm.
We were in gym shorts and stuff getting ate up.
Hey, oh, remember that?
That probably wasn't my worst day of work, but that's one of the more memorable bad days of work. But back onto the emergency room thing, like Colton said, he waited for an hour. On my birthday several years ago, I had an uncle who grilled for us. And you know those bristle brushes that they use to
Oh,
clean the grill?
oh,
Yeah.
I can sense where this is going, and I don't want to
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah, I'm continuing. Apparently, one of them had gotten lodged in one of the burgers. And I'm what you call a fast eater. I
I
take
am
about
too.
2
That's
chomps
scary.
and it's down the hatch. Well, apparently, I had swallowed that bristle brush and thought nothing of it. Well, that night, the female I was talking to at the time, we went to the movies, and like halfway through the movie, I realized my stomach was cramping. It almost felt like when you got to take a massive dump. Like, hey, oh, my stomach hurts. So I thought that's what it was, but I didn't have to go to the bathroom. I was just kind of confused. So I played it off. We finished the movie. When we got up to leave the movie, I couldn't. There was no hardly to it. I could not stand up straight. I was like hunched over at like a 45-degree angle walking out of the movie.
The pain.
Yeah.
The pain.
I'm talking about crazy pain. Like, I can't even imagine. We got back to her apartment. I called my grandmother. I was like, hey, I'm pretty sure I'm dying. Just to get the point across that this ain't normal. Like, I knew something wasn't right. I didn't know what had happened or what was going on at this point in time, but I knew I needed help. Well, they said they came up there anyway. I'm dying, waiting on them to get there. They take me to the emergency room. I sit in the darn emergency room waiting room for 2 hours. My aunt's literally nudging me like, hey, start squirming on the floor or something. And I'm the type that refuses to cause a scene anywhere I go. I don't want all eyes on me. I'm not trying to be that person. So I'm holding in tears, trying to just wait until they could see me. Finally, I go back there. They make me drink some kind of dye, taking their time. The dye takes 30 minutes before it's ready for them to take some scan. They took it, and then eventually the doctor comes in there and is like, yeah, I'm glad you came in when you did. You could have died from this. You literally have this metal spike puncturing through your intestines. And your intestines have knotted up on themselves, trying to like push it out because your body is kind of insane. It loves trying to fix you, but at the same time, it was hurting me. So we need to perform emergency surgery right now to get that out of there. I was like, okay, hurry up, like, I'll sign whatever waiver y'all need me to sign. Get this out of me. So my surgeon walks in before they roll me back, before they give me the medicine and stuff. And when I tell you her glasses were 3 inches thick and her eyes were a little bit googly, I was like, am I sure I want this person to start slicing and dicing, you know.
You felt like
I
you got the
might take
big
my
crew, huh?
chances with my knotted up intestines. At least I have a couple good hours left. But I was in so much pain. I was like, "Go ahead, doc, whatever." And they did it, and everything went smoothly. But and now I
That is
got a
so terrifying.
C-section scar. Is what I tell people. I gave birth to a little piece of metal, but
Mm.
yeah, that was terrifying. Actually,
Yeah.
I won't ever forget that birthday though.
I bet you won't. Good
Bet your
lord.
uncle feels bad. Did you try to kick his ass?
No, I
I
give him
might
I
would have.
give him heck about it, rib him a little bit.
I would have sent
I
him the
mean,
bill.
that was when I was young enough and not be worrying about paying the bill. I had family that would bite the bullet for me. I've been blessed with having family that would even they might not have could have or wanted to afford it. They've been over backwards to help me as a kid, and thank God because I did some dumb stuff.
We all did some dumb stuff. I know I did.
Oh yeah, that's part of growing up.
Bradley, what was your worst day at work?
To be honest with you, man,
You got to have a pest control story of something you didn't want to deal with. Like, I
Right.
caught some animal that just wasn't it. You didn't want no part of handling it.
well, all right. Oh my goodness, dude, my boss had this deal with this I don't know how to describe him in a nice way. He was basically a trailer park slumlord out here in a rural part of the area. He would take old trailers and rent them out for like 400 to 600 bucks, which is cheap as fuck. But you get what you pay for. And we would come and treat all of his customers, whoever rented from him, we would service them basically.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And one day this fella calls us. Actually, there's two crazy stories we have of him. But one day he calls us and asks us to go treat one of his places that a tenant finally moved out. That he had a hard time with the tenant and they didn't pay on time and all this other usual tenant landlord
I'm
disputes.
guessing they trashed it before they left, huh?
It was trashed what they lived in. They lived in filth. Like there wasn't much stuff left behind. But the
Hmm.
walls left a fucking story, my guy.
Dude,
When my
caveman
boss
drawings and pure doo doo on the walls, and
when my boss opened the door, a roach fell and hit him on top of the head and bounced off.
Heck no.
You could
no,
see where
no, no.
pictures were hung on the wall and the discoloration and stuff. But even where it was discolored, there was like little runnings. My boss was like,
Oh no,
"That's
I
roach,
can't.
that's roach poop and
I don't
stuff
get
all
how
over the wall."
I don't get how people can do that. Like I live in the middle of the woods, so of course roaches and mice get in my house from time to time. But when
Oh
they
yeah.
do, I go top tier hunter exterminator, and I am on a mission to eradicate all vermin from from
Your
my
premises.
premises.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they freak me out, man. If I'm asleep and I wake up to a roach crawling on my face or something, I flip my
Yeah.
bed over trying to get out of it. Ain't
Mm-mm.
no way.
Yeah, that place was horrible. We had to spend like 2 days there trying to
Ugh.
kill everything. It was a German cockroach infestation, and German cockroaches are like one of the worst. They're the smaller ones. They're not the
The
big
little red ones.
American. Um, they look kind of red, I guess,
Hmm.
reddish brown.
Reddish brown. Yeah.
Yep. Those are the ones.
Not the big ones that can fly, not the American.
Not the wood roach or nothing like
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
Those aren't
Yeah, I
too
think
bad.
y'all
Those
could
are
have made
mainly
it through.
outdoors.
Yeah, I think y'all could have made it through Fear Factor. Like, if
Nope.
they told you
Nope.
to
Nope.
There would have
eat some
been
roaches.
one eat. Well, put myself in a tub of something may not be too bad.
Them snakes, no shot.
Yeah, that would have been a tough one too. But the moment they would have asked me to eat something, I've been like, I'm out of here.
Mhm.
Right? I got a weak stomach, dude. I could have tried my best and still failed, so I would have just went ahead and saved myself the trouble.
Yep.
Yeah, I would have thrown it up, guaranteed. I wouldn't have been like, oh, whoa, this is actually kind of good. Let
Wait,
me
how much
hit
money
out.
did they even get paid for winning that show?
That's
Like,
a
I feel
great
like it
question.
wasn't enough.
I think he was competing from anywhere from 50,000 to 150,000. I
No
don't.
thanks.
They probably moved the winning amount around.
Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to have won that amount of money, but I couldn't have done it from that.
Nope.
Now, the other challenges, jumping out of helicopters and stuff, I would have loved to have tried that. I probably wouldn't have been good at it, but I would have. That's something I would have done. Now, there was one to where they had to go underwater. It was like an underwater maze and stuff. No, I don't want no part of that. I can't hold my breath that long.
Speaking of maze, do you ever remember a TV show called The Hidden Temple? It was like a competition TV show on Nickelodeon.
The name rings a bell, but nothing else is
They
popping
would try
up
to
when
run
you
through
said
this
that.
like maze type thing, and it was like Mayan themed, like deep in the jungle. And it was like various. It's kind of like Wipeout without the water and stuff.
It rings a bell, but I don't guess I tuned into it too much.
It was a pretty cool show. I enjoyed that.
I like the
What
idea behind it now.
What would y'all say would be y'all's favorite show from the big three? The big three being Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and Disney.
Cartoon Network
Cartoon
probably
Network.
would have been Codenames Kid Next Door.
That's a good one.
I pretty much liked everything on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, same. That was a hard one to pick between, so I just threw the first one that came up. Now, Nickelodeon,
Dexter's
it depends.
Laboratory.
That was your favorite?
No, it was just a good one. My favorite, I'd probably have to go with Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Yep, that was my second one that popped up.
Nothing made me want a Jawbreaker more than
Right.
Ed, Ed and Eddie. I
finally got my hands on the
I
Jawbreaker,
was
and it
so
was
fucking
very...
mad.
Yeah.
So mad. What is
do you
this?
mean? I got this fucking rock in my mouth for the next 3 hours?
I was angry. Like, I just gotta
Because
sit
I got
here.
my hands on one of them big ones, too. Like,
Me too.
That's
I was
what
like,
want.
heck yeah, the bigger the better.
I was
I
like,
tried.
this is going to last me 3 years, huh?
Yeah. I bought one of them big ones. Yeah.
You basically had to lick on it for a little bit.
It was softball size Jawbreaker.
Yeah.
And
Now, Gobstoppers ain't that bad.
nah,
I haven't had them.
those are good.
Now, Nickelodeon, I feel like they had the most variety out of all of them almost. So it's hard for
Was
me
it
to
the
pinpoint.
Angry Beavers? Was that a show? Y'all remember that? About
That
the two
was a
different
show.
color beavers?
Yeah.
I don't.
The brown one
I
and then the
remember.
light.
I didn't watch it
The
too
tan
much,
one?
though.
It was fairly good. It wasn't.
On Nickelodeon.
It was.
Okay. Yeah.
It was
It
the early 2000s or something like that, right?
See, that's the thing about
I think so.
Nickelodeon is it would have to be which age I was at as to which ones were my favorite. Rocket
Right.
Power was one of my
That's a cool
all-time
one.
favorites at a certain age.
Hey, the wild thornberries.
Never
Classic.
liked it too much. I would watch it, but
Mm.
I just liked Donnie.
Donnie was the star of the show.
Yeah,
He
for
damn
sure. And he
sure
wasn't even
was.
in every episode.
No one wanted to admit it. But he would come
Yeah.
around, and you knew it was a party. He hit that and take off. They'd be like, "Oh, Donnie."
As a kid, if you ate enough pixie sticks for watching him, you could understand what the heck he was saying.
You were saying.
That man
Yeah.
speaks pure adrenaline.
No way to describe him better. That's for sure.
Now, Disney, I liked more of their like real human cartoon stuff, if that makes sense.
Just shows, you mean?
Yeah, like Zack and Cody and that kind of stuff. I was even
That's
a
a
fan of Hannah
Raven.
Montana.
Yeah,
That's
That's
a
So
Raven.
Raven was good. I think Hannah Montana was based on Dolly Parton, of modern day Dolly Parton. Because you know Dolly Parton actually wears a wig.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's not really blonde.
Yep, I've heard that.
Yeah.
But I
Smart
can't
move.
even remember a good cartoon.
From Disney, Brandy and Mr. Whiskers, Emperor's New
Yeah.
Groove, Timon and Pumbaa. You ain't spitting on Timon and Pumbaa, dog. That
I'm not
shit
saying I
was
didn't like
classic.
it, but I wouldn't throw it top tier on my childhood list of things to watch. I loved The Lion King, but Timon and Pumbaa was just kind of
It
for me.
developed
For
the
me,
lore
I
so
mean,
much more. I didn't care for
I-
the movies. I preferred the shows because there
I
was
ain't
more
trying
content.
to spit on your your cartoons as a child by any means, but for me it was just kind of
I guess that's the only ones I can really think of though from Disney. I feel like there's more out there, but
Phineas and Ferb.
didn't care for it.
But yeah, I mean, we were too old by the time it came around.
Yeah, I didn't care for it. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, bring that back from Cartoon
Was that
Network.
yeah, that was a Cartoon
Yeah.
Network one. Now, honestly, I would throw Boomerang in my top 3 over Disney if we're talking about cartoons.
But
They
that's
had the Smurfs.
that's an affiliate of Cartoon Network.
Is it?
Yeah.
They had all sorts of good stuff. I mean, it was
They
something your
did.
parents probably watched when they were a kid, but hey, it was
But
old
it
but a goodie.
introduced you to other
Yeah.
stuff.
The Smurfs was lit. They had
Smurfs, you're right. They played the
else did they have?
Smurfs. They
they
would
had the
play
Snorks.
the underwater ones.
Yeah, Jabberjaws, which was like a shark version of Scooby Doo.
Yeah. What about the one with the car? They had one with a car.
Go Speed Racer or something like that.
That one was lit. Yeah,
Yeah.
With the
Speed
monkey in
Racer.
the trunk.
Maybe
It was a white car and he had like a
it
red
was a white
scarf.
car with a red stripe on it. Maybe.
That's not what I know what y'all talking about, but that's not what I'm talking about. There's another one with like a car that every time it talk it would spit and sputter. Like
I know what you're talking about.
you do know, don't you?
Hold on. This memory hasn't unlocked for me yet. Hold on.
I don't know the name of it, but I remember that image.
I can't think of anything about it other than that, but you struck a nerve when you said it spit and sputtered when it talked.
Right.
Oh man, what was that?
Was that on Boomerang?
I felt like it would have been on Boomerang.
Oh, it had to have been. It wouldn't have been anywhere else.
Yeah.
It was definitely an older show.
What was the name of the show where the Tomcats were walking around? It wasn't like Tom and Jerry, but it was like that style of cartoon. And it was just cats.
Mm,
Or is that just an episode of Tom and Jerry I'm thinking of?
It may have been an episode of Tom and Jerry. It did have like a cat game with like 3 cats. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
remember that
Tom.
episode, but I feel like there was... Who was the Kung Fu Hooey?
Kung Fu.
Kung Fu Hooey. Yeah.
Faster than the human eye. Oh yeah, they had some bangers on that. Now let me ask y'all this: was Baby Looney Tunes bomb for y'all, or was it like nah?
It was a hit for me because I enjoyed the Looney Tunes and they had those classic Looney Tunes
Personalities.
Yeah, the chemistry they had.
Yeah.
But there
Yeah.
were
I
some
love
moments
Baby
it
Looney
was
Tunes.
it was some kiddish stuff. Like I knew if I got caught watching Baby Looney
Yeah,
Tunes,
yeah, I would
somebody
change
was
the
gonna be
channel
like,
real quick if somebody was about to walk in the room or
Yep,
something.
yeah, man.
My
Nothing
mom
else
probably
is
thought
on.
I was
I'm just
watching
flicking
like
through.
some naked women or something on TV the way I changed the channel. I changed it to Family Guy just so she could bitch about that. I wasn't about to get caught watching Baby Looney Tunes.
Oh.
But at the same time, that was a good show.
I remember like they would show them like early on a Saturday morning, like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Holy.
I
Yeah.
feel like what it was for me, I think that was one of the options before school in the morning for me. Like, it was Power Rangers for a while, there was Digimon for a while. The Baby Looney Tunes came into rotation there for a little bit, and it would be on before school, and I'd watch an episode or two. And I was tired of watching stuff like Saved by the Bell, so I was like,
Yeah.
let me watch this for a little bit.
Did y'all
Too
ever
much
watch
teenage
Full
drama.
House?
Yes, Full House
Mm-mm.
was lit.
Yeah, I love that show.
I wanted to be Uncle Danny or whatever.
Uncle Jesse.
Yes.
Danny was the dad, the skinny little worm-looking guy.
Bob Saget's
all of them
character.
were great in their own way, and there were so many different personalities on that show. It was just amazing. That was when Mary Kate and Ashley were toddlers.
While they still had everything together.
They had a bunch of good movies as kids, like The Parent Trap.
What
Yeah.
was the other
That
one though?
movie's lit.
Besides it,
I don't know.
No, the
Full
Parent
House
Trap.
and The Parent Trap. That's all I needed.
Were they on the Parent Trap?
yeah.
Huh.
Remember the two sisters
Yeah, they were the
that
twins
were
that
separated
got-
at birth?
They switched. One of them went home with the dad, and one of them went home with the mom. And
I thought that was one with like was it Lindsay Lohan or something like that did one?
okay, she might have been in The Parent Trap, actually.
Yeah.
Da 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 da.
I didn't think it was Mary Kate and Ashley. I thought it was Lindsay
I'm
Lohan.
glad you called us out on that before we got roasted.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was also in Herbie Fully Loaded.
Yes.
She was.
Yeah.
And then she went crazy.
Wow. You're right. Colton for the win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you saved our credibility.
Yep. The only reason I know that is I saw it multiple times with my
I
sister,
saw it
so-
multiple times and I just didn't remember.
I just assumed since they were twins, it was those two.
Right, but yeah.
They did have a lot of movies afterwards, but
They did. Mary Kate
I
and
don't
Ashley,
really
blah blah
remember.
blah.
Yeah,
Mary
I don't
Kate
think
and
they
Ashley.
had a
Lindsay
home
Lohan
run.
had quite a few pretty good ones. 13 going on 30.
Lindsay had more than these guys. I don't think. They
Wait,
had a home run.
Freaky Friday. She did Freaky Friday too
That might be
Mhm.
what I'm thinking of. Is that the
Yeah.
one where she switches minds with?
with
Yeah,
the
with
mom.
her mom.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
She looks rough now. She's changed so much.
Oh, dude, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I never expected old Miley Cyrus to go full rebel mode on us.
Oh, and
Ugh.
Mean Girls. She also did Mean Girls.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Miley went from this perfect little girl on Hannah Montana to I came in like a wrecking ball, half naked on
A wrecking ball.
On a wrecking ball, yeah.
And to be honest, her along with a lot of other people changed our culture drastically from Hannah Montana era to now. Our world has become a lot more sexual.
Yeah.
Or openly, I say. It was
Openly.
probably just as sexual before, but now it's flaunted everywhere.
The means of which it's shared is just so much more easily
Which I ain't gonna
accessible.
ignore Pornhub and our pornography sites. Them jokers have changed the world too.
Those sites are getting massive views, massive numbers.
Oh,
And
insane!
nobody really talks
and
about it.
everybody knows that everybody tunes into them. So I mean, why wouldn't sexuality become more of an open?
I mean,
thing,
I think
you know?
everybody knows the doom, doom, doom.
Yeah, you had to go through a whole process of going into like a comic book store and asking for the secret section and oh well, where's the nudie mags, and it just felt taboo and dirty doing it. Now it's just like, all right.
Yeah, someone had to
Right?
check you out at a register and look at everything you bought. Like, wow,
Yeah.
you're into this,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah,
That's
you
fucking
dirty
weird,
fuck.
dude.
Now it's just like, all right.
You can type anything in the internet and find something.
Yep.
That's a curse and a blessing.
It is, because I feel like we don't remember as much anymore when we know it's at a moment's like
Oh, hey
call.
man, my brain don't even try to remember some stuff if I know I can Google it
Yeah, I look up
in one ear
facts
and
all the
out the other.
time. Yeah, I look facts up all the time and don't retain
I'll
hardly
have
any
to
of
look
them.
up that same fact the
Well,
next time it
this,
comes up.
this is the weird thing about me. I will try to talk to people and figure out something before I go to Google. It's just me. It's just
You're an
me.
old soul, Cole.
I know, right?
I mean, I'll
You are an
try it,
old
but
soul.
it'll
I
eat
use
me up
Google
long
as a
enough.
last resort.
But you still
Well,
use
the
it.
thing is, I know nobody else knows this shit anymore neither, so I might as well just go ahead and take matters into Google's hands.
I like to call it my own little research. I'm doing a little research into the matter.
I think that's the difference between a college kid and somebody who didn't have to go through that struggle.
Yeah.
And we got real good at finding information on Google because we had to write papers and whatnot.
That might be a problem. I didn't go to college, so I don't stress too
Dude,
much
when I
looking
went
for
to
information.
the university, they had a whole like library website that you were supposed to use as a search engine to
Mm-hmm.
do your stuff, and that way it would be easier to cite and
Yep.
more pertain to the information you were looking for. And you
Hmm.
want to talk about not using that motherfucker?
Yeah, I tried. Don't get me wrong. I tried. I gave it a full-fledged effort. But the crap that they had on there had nothing to do with what I was trying to write my paper on. I can't remember the exact paper, but my topic, they cover none of the information related to my topic whenever you search kind of the general keywords.
They would pick the
There'd be
wrong
about
keywords.
300, yeah, there'd be 300 different files related to it, but none of them confirmed or denied what I was trying to debate. It was useless. They would get real angry with you if you used Wikipedia, though.
Hmm.
It was like the one thing, stay away from it.
It didn't have a very good verified state.
I think anybody can go on Wikipedia and edit stuff and put a
Yeah, there for
definition
a
up,
while, but I think they've kind of
close those capabilities.
they made it a little more strict or something. I think you have to be like a verified account. I don't know how hard it is to be a verified account now,
Yeah.
but yeah. Alright, boys. Let's call it a wrap right there. It's been another episode of the Not Labeled Podcast. I want to thank my two guests, Bear Killer Sack. Thank you, boys, once again.
Oh, no problem.
No
And we're out.
problem.